Good afternoon, and this is the news at 1:30 p.m. on Rakyat Times TV, and I am Jonathan Lim. A series of changes and adjustments to Budget 2015 was announced today by the Prime Minister and Finance Minister, Datuk Seri Najib Razak. For those who were expecting the goods and services tax to be deferred, bad news. It remains on track and will take effect in April. Many had been hoping for the so-called Robin Hood tax to be removed, but a statement from Bank Negara said that the tax was a necessary preemptive measure. Bank Negara Governor Tan Sri Dr. Akhtar Aziz said that it will strengthen Malaysia's finances and economic fundamentals. However, she did not elaborate. Meanwhile, Rakyat Times columnist Dr. S. Ramakrishnan said that the government isn't doing enough to tackle the fiscal deficit. This, he said, is especially critical because of the nation's bloated civil service. Since a huge part of the operation cost goes towards the maintaining of the civil service, Dr. Rama expected that there would have been at least some revision in the size of this sector. The only good news is that the electricity hike, which was slated for this year, has been deferred. Meanwhile, a straw poll by Rakyat Times indicate that the blame for today's economic woes falls squarely on PM Najib. Several people interviewed, including those in the banking sector, say that the nation's woes are due to the spendthrift nature of the Najib administration. Some pointed out that Najib began his tenure as PM in April 2009. And they say that this coincides with the ballooning of the national debt from below 300 billion to 570 billion today. Many in the poll suggested that the proposed GST was really a bailout plan for the government coffers. They also said that it was unfair that the whole nation has to pay up for the excesses of this administration. And quell the disgruntled Rakyat, the administration is quick to use the Sedition Act on genuine complaints of hardship. And in Indonesia, investigators of the AirAsia QZ8501 crash say that initial findings do not indicate terrorism or pilot suicide. The Airbus A320-200 vanished from radar screens in bad weather on December 28, killing all 162 people aboard. No additional bodies of victims were found during yesterday's search operation. In a statement, AirAsia said divers have retrieved more debris, passenger seats, windows and interior parts of the aircraft. Bad weather continues to hamper rescue efforts. The Charlie Hebdo magazine's controversial cartoons continues to cause more protests. From Chechnya to Gazans, threats have been leveled against France. Hundreds of thousands of people flooded into the center of Grozny yesterday, the capital of Russia's Muslim North Caucasus region of Chechnya. A mammoth state-sponsored demonstration against the French magazine was held with thousands marching and chanting. Elsewhere, hundreds of people in Afghanistan and Pakistan demonstrated against Charlie Hebdo, burning French flags and calling for the government to cut diplomatic relations with France. And that was the 1:30 p.m. news on Rakyat Times TV. We will see you again tomorrow.